Good afternoon. I hope you guys are having or have had, I should say, a wonderful week, right? Weather's been warm, a little hot some places, a little chilly some places, but nonetheless, it's been pretty exciting. Um, our weather in Atlanta has been 90s in the 90s, and we're just now getting into June. So, nonetheless, I guess we're officially moving into summer, so I'll have to learn how to deal with it. So wherever you are in the world, I hope that you're having a wonderful afternoon. But I am Iris Denise Owens, your host of the Autopsy of Her, Healing, Evolving, Resiliency. And on the line with me is my beautiful sister and co-host. Good afternoon, honey bunny. How are you?
Good afternoon, honey bunny. Stephanie Deani Green. Good afternoon, everyone. It's beautiful weather here in New Jersey. I tell you that. I haven't been out the house in 4 days, but it's beautiful weather. I can see it's beautiful.
She sees it through the window.
I see it through the window. I peek out the door a little bit, but I ask my son, how's the weather today? Oh, it's warm. I'm
Yes.
like, okay.
Yes. And personally, for me, I wanted to stay in the house all week because I don't do, I do not like this hot weather.
You can't be around flying things. You don't need anything around there
No,
flying.
that part too. All the creatures that have wings are not my friend. Or no, creatures with wings or stingers are not my friend. Yeah, so
Exactly.
For those of you who don't know, I had a whole nother episode of being stung by another wasp or by a wasp, because I don't know what stung me a few months
First
ago.
time.
But
Exactly.
by a wasp in my home, sitting on my sofa on my elbow. Just I'm thinking I crushed a potato chip crumple, and it was a wasp who, I guess as I crushed him, he stung me. So that was fun.
Minding your business in your house.
Yes, minding my business in my house, and I got stung by a wasp. Yeah. So I had to go to a hospital, but first I had to stick myself with an EpiPen. First time ever having to do that. And that was interesting. I was in my house doing the Ali shuffle, talking myself into how to stab this thing into my leg.
I can only imagine. I've been like, oh my God. Oh my God.
I was like, okay, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. Let's go. Okay, ready? No. Like woosah, breathing. Yeah. It was like oh my gosh. I was like, no, I cannot believe I had to do this, but I got it done. And then I had to go to the hospital. So all is well. I had a Popeye elbow, though. This whole arm was so swollen. It looked like Popeye. It had side bumps and lumps on it and stuff. It was insane. So, but yet I am here. So life, it has its ups and downs, but I'm happy that it has more ups than downs. And so I'm excited to be here with you all today. And so today we're going to talk about, or I should say our topic today, we'll start there. Our topic today is Clean Up Woman. Now, I know some of you all remember the Betty Wright song, Clean Up Woman. That's not what we're talking about. So y'all could put y'all tongues back in your heads and get on, no, we're not going down that lane. We're not driving on that street today. So Clean Up Woman, we're focusing on, learning how maintenance is absolutely necessary in every aspect of your life. And it's very important, especially now with all that's going on in the world, but it's important anytime in your life. But right now, because we are balancing so many things, we are facing so many different challenges, things that we had, like that wasn't on your schedule, right? That wasn't in your game plan. That was not on your dream board, but yet here it is, and you're having to learn how to maneuver. So today we wanted to focus on, mind, body, soul. So our health, how we need to make sure we pay attention to maintaining. We also want to talk about minding your business, which is all aspects of your business, whether you're an entrepreneur, you work for someone, your finances, your credit, your thing. So we're going to touch a little bit on that. And then we're going to talk about soul ties, how we need to make sure we do maintenance of toxins in our relationships, or how we need to remove toxins if we, as we see them. And
every single day.
every single day. And Steph and I were laughing, and I said, yeah, we cannot leave our relationships or toxins like we do our laundry. You know how sometimes you let your laundry pile up, because now you're like, oh, like some people like, I got to wear my bathing suit because I have no more clean underwear. No.
Yeah, we're not.
First of all, you should never get to that point in your life. Okay. You should never be wearing your bathing suit as underclothes. Okay. So we're going to talk about those things today. So Steph, I want you to jump in because, where do you want to start? What do you want to share today?
Well, maintenance, I've had a lot of maintenance done lately, but I had
clarify that because now people gonna be looking, going, "What's let me see." I thought her face looked different.
I know, right. No, when I had acute respiratory failure last year, they found out that my calcium levels in my blood were like through the roof, but I had to get all of my asthma issues under control. So I finally had my surgery on Wednesday, on June 1st. And it still hurts to talk a little bit, but I'm getting better. I just can't turn too much. But
what did you have? You got to tell them what you had surgery for.
Yes. I had, it's called a parodectomy. Well, what they did, so you have your thyroid is in the center, and on the side of your thyroid, you have 2 parathyroids. You have 4 of them all together. And the parathyroid controls the calcium going in and out of your blood. And literally, the endocrinologist said to me when I was in ICU that day, she said, you probably have a tumor on your parathyroid that's causing you to have all that calcium going in your blood that's not supposed to be going there. And it was what I had, actually. And I did all the tests. And actually, the parathyroids are the size of a grain of rice. They're that tiny. Exactly. And then so imagine the tumor was that tiny. But my surgeon told me that you could actually live with a half of one parathyroid. You could remove all of it and just live with half of one, and it's enough. So they had to remove one. I'm still definitely in the healing stage, still waiting to make sure my levels came down and things of that nature. But it's all about balance in your life and even in your body, because once your body is out of balance, it throws everything else out of whack. Correct. Because I've never had high blood pressure, but because of the hypercalcemia, it caused high blood pressure, it caused me to gain some weight, it caused a whole lot of different things. It even causes confusion in your brain, like you start having memory issues just because the calcium, that much calcium going through your body and through your veins, it's very dangerous for you. And if you don't have the surgery, it takes 5 to 6 years off your life. So they were like, you're so young, you definitely want to have this. And not to mention, it's quite common also. And then it can return again, and it's nothing you could do. It's not like how certain things, that they cause, like, type 2 diabetes, you eat and all the things like that. It's nothing of that nature. It's just something that actually happens. There's nothing that you do to cause it. It's just something that happens to you. So so I am that my maintenance. I'm all over it. So I do have this on today, but I have the little thing going on, the little smiley.
She has a new beauty mark now.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be there much. It's not gonna be there for a long time. Trust and believe it.
Yes, I know, because we're going to do all the things to heal that lovely beauty mark.
Exactly. But it healed quickly. Like, I'm not messing with it. I'm not doing anything like that. But so it's like, but maintenance is really, really important to take care of yourself. And let me tell you, get blood work. Your blood tells you everything you need to know about what's going on in your body. Everything. Blood work. I've never had so much blood work done in my life. I thought I had a lot being pregnant. Oh boy. Every time, check your levels. It's really, it's quite interesting, but learned a lot about yourself. Not to mention, it makes you exhausted. Like I woke up tired, in the bed tired. Now I'm just hoping just to wake up and not be tired.
Yes.
So that's the goal.
and something you mentioned, which is interesting, I think for many of us, right, we don't even know our blood type. And that's an important thing. I know, for most of us who are like, I'm not a scientist, why do I need to know that? But when you're really trying to maintain your body, there was a gentleman, and I don't have his information, but I will get it for next time, because since I'm referencing it, I want to make sure that everyone has that. But there's a gentleman who does this study based on your blood type, and it talks about, you know, the type of foods you should literally eat or not. Yeah, eating for your blood type, because it makes all the difference in the world of how your body processes and breaks down, and the maintenance of your body when you are not eating the right types of foods for your body. So it's just like if a person has gout, right? A person who has gout cannot eat leafy green vegetables, you know, or a bunch of beans and things that build up the uric acid in their blood and causing the inflammation in the joints. So it's similar to that. And so, but it's something good to know. And I know that I'm O positive.
I'm AB positive.
And so also when it comes down to, like, say someone in your family, right? Someone needs a blood transfusion. And of course, with African Americans, we are the lowest number of people to be able to get a match, right? Hence the reason why we sit on people who have kidney problems or need organs. We sit on a waiting list for so much longer than any other, you know, but minorities in general, but we are kind of high on that. Then it's Latinas, and then it's Asian. So it's important that you
it is important, but
things.
not only that, it's important that, like, also with this surgery, I decided to donate my parathyroid to science. I had
Oh,
to sign.
awesome.
Yes, because they want to do studies, and they do not have enough African Americans to do studies, you know,
Oh,
because
I
people
love
always
that stuff. That's amazing.
Yep, I talked to her. I talked to the lady, and she came, and I had to sign off on everything like that. She asked me what I donate. I said, absolutely, because I understand that in order for them to find out answers about our bodies, we have to be part of the whole
Yes,
scientific thing that's going on. That we have to be a part of the scientific studies. So I did
absolutely.
donate that. Yes, I'm very much into that. Even when I had both my children, I
Yes.
donated their umbilical cords. I actually
Awesome.
wanted to store them, you know, for the stem cell. But
Yes.
at the time, it was, you know, not affordable for me to do that. But I was able to donate them. But however, I would tell anybody, if you still have your children's baby teeth, which I still do, and I keep them in the freezer, the stem cell is in the baby teeth also.
Yes.
So
You
God
told me
forbid if I
that.
ever yeah, if I ever needed something for my children, needed something like that, I still have their stem cells. So, I mean, it's really, really important. So, you know, the lady, she was so happy. She said, because most African Americans do not want to donate anything from them because they don't, because they think they're going to use it for something negative.
Right.
But we have
We
to
don't
be
trust
part
the
of,
system.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
But you
We
have
don't
to
trust the
donate. I was
system.
really happy to do that,
I
especially because,
love that.
yeah, because that's a teaching hospital, you know, Robert Wood Johnson in New
Yes.
Brunswick, New Jersey, where I had my surgery done. It's a teaching hospital. And she went and showed me all it was really quite interesting. It was really, really
I love
quite interesting.
that. You didn't tell me you would, like, you made that positive imprint in history, girl. Come on through. That's what
I didn't think I
I'm
didn't
talking
even
about.
think about the blood. That's what I remembered. You know, I was
I
like,
love
yes, yes,
that.
absolutely,
I
yes.
love that. Oh, listen, that's amazing. I love that. You see, this is what the world is supposed to be about, right? Here you are having a surgery to improve your health and your life, but you also did something that can improve millions of lives and for thousands of years to give study. I love that stuff. That,
Mhm,
man, that is
mhm.
amazing. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I love it.
I was so happy to do it because she said, "Oh, people like," because when Henry, whole situation with Henrietta Lack, that's the
Yes.
whole story. People don't know about it, but she was saying how people feel ways about that. But you know, us as a community, we sometimes really don't know all the full stories of different things.
Yes.
Um, or the way they're told to us, sometimes we get confused. You know,
Yes.
like, you know, the Tuskegee experiment and things of that nature.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
No, people
Mm-hmm.
don't understand that they did not give them the medication. That was the problem, you know. So, but you know, people get confused about how that
Right.
happened.
They gave
Um,
them the placebo, and
exactly,
hence not giving them the treatment. Hence
exactly,
it
exactly.
turned out just the way they expected, but
Right,
you know,
right.
they were used as the guinea pigs, unfortunately,
Exactly,
without knowing
exactly,
that that's what was happening.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
so,
like
yes, this is why we tend to stay away from anytime someone says we're willing to, we want to study this, we want to study that. But we do as minorities, we do have to start focusing on giving blood, giving platelets, giving organs, because we could save lives,
Exactly.
right? We could
definitely
save generations of people if we would, be more open to research. And I know that it is very scary to have anyone, extract anything from your body and you don't know what they're going to do with it. That's very true. And I in no way am downplaying this thing, but it is also a way for us to give back and to have impact on positive, studies and things that need to be done for minorities. So always keep that in mind. That is amazing, Steph. That is a wonderful blessing that you did. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
So we talked a little bit about our health. And so as we all know, your health is, of course, your mind, your spirit, your body, right? And so
and your wealth.
And your wealth, absolutely. Your health wealth, yes. Because
your health is your wealth.
because you have to think about it this way. If you don't have wealth, you typically don't have good health in any way, shape, or form, right? Because remember, if you look at what is considered being poor means you normally don't have access to good health care, if you have access to healthcare at all. So healthcare is a very important thing because it maintains, again, generations can be destroyed for lack of healthcare, right? But you also got to have the ability to get the healthcare, right? And even if you're given healthcare, sometimes that, like even now with Obamacare or the health market, it is still a disparity because even in these situations, you're paying for insurance, but a lot of times you go to the doctors that you are typically going to, they don't take it. Or the doctors that you need to go to don't take it. So it becomes a whole nother, issue. So when we are referring to your health, that is something you have to factor in. But it also factors in where we're going to jump into minding your business, how your financials are so important, right? I remember as a kid, and I wish that I had listened to my mother so much more than when I was a child, as opposed to waiting till now to do it. And so my mother always said, I don't care what kind of money you make. Every time you get a paycheck, you take if it's $5, if that's all you got, to take $5 and you put it away and you don't go back and you bother it, right? And that is how you first begin to build wealth. I remember my mom used to, when they had Christmas clubs. You guys remember Christmas club?
I never have our
Christmas club. Put your Christmas club money away, girl. End of November. Ooh, that first week of December, you go get your Christmas club money to go shopping. Life was grand, right? Because you had cash money to go do Christmas shopping. No one was going into debt. And a lot of people at that time hopefully were not having to use layaway to put your kids' gifts on layaway. You were able to go into the store and buy what you wanted for your kids and for your family and move on. But it is important that we understand finances, right? Especially if you're a business owner, you have to mind your business. You really got to mind your business. You cannot allow other people to mind your business for you.
It's true. It's true though. Yeah, I know what's going on.
You got to know. I mean, we have all heard the horror stories of people who have made millions, right? Thousands of dollars, and they're living in fabulous houses and they're driving beautiful cars and they wear wonderful clothes, and they're all to find out that, okay, first of all, they don't own any of that stuff, which is very disheartening, right? When you realize that they don't own any of that, typically the manager and everyone else is getting paid, except the people actually performing the services.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, nobody reads the contract.
Right. No one reads the contract because everyone is so excited that I am right. Yeah. I am going to be a star. I'm here to sing. That's all I'm here to do. I'm here to dance. I'm here to play ball. I'm here to do. Yes, but you need to read the contract. Mind your business. It is vitally important that when we are signing our names on dotted lines to things, first of all, you may not understand everything in that contract because yes, it's the legal language can be difficult to understand. But what I want you to do, first of all, on any page that there is that small print, read it.
That's right. Google is your friend.
And if you don't understand it, make that person who is on the other side of that pen explain it to you. Because many times we sign contracts and we don't read, and then we'll say, I want to quit this thing. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want this service anymore. And then they hit you with the, okay, sure, we understand you want to leave, but you're going to owe us $1,000 for leaving. Wait, what?
Like in Bel Air with Hillary. Yes. Filthy. Now she has to leave Bel Air, the TV show.
That's right. When she wanted to leave the guy, right. She signed the contract. And not even understanding that everything you did, he owned, number one. And then he had control over what you did and did not do.
Exactly.
Right.
And then you still got to pay him after that.
And I mean, she still have to pay him.
Well, it's not that she didn't understand it. She did not even read it.
No, right. That part.
Yeah. She didn't even read it at all. So you have to because you're so excited about getting it that you don't even, like the opportunity that you don't read it. And you have to read. You have to read.
You have to read the contract.
You find yourself in a position. And I think that as far as when you're talking about people that go into things of that nature, I think that back in the day, I know when they first with Motown with Berry Gordy, they had people to help you. Yes. And I think that we have lost some of that people that they don't have people helping you like they should. I mean, you have managers, but all managers aren't good managers.
No, because some managers are out for themselves.
Exactly. So they're not thinking about, let me make sure, like you think about all the rappers that have been passing of late that, the first rappers, like a lot of them didn't have any health insurance. They didn't have anything. And, they started this game. And it's really, really been sad. It was nothing left for them or for their families. They didn't have money to bury some of these people.
Yes.
And it's really, really, really sad. But because the industry does not look out for you like they should. And I think there should be they want your talent, but they don't want anything else.
But they don't care about you as you're seen as an object and not a person. Exactly. You're an object and you're an opportunity. And so you have to have someone who is protecting your best interests. Right? Exactly.
Like Mary J. Blige said, that's what they will keep you high and drunk so they can control you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's all this about. But you have to, and family members. If you're going to have a family member, they need to know what they're doing.
Yes. Not just because they're your mom or your dad or they're your best friend. They need to understand. Because they too can be manipulated into things and not realizing what they're agreeing to because it sounds good. And people put the pig with the lipstick on it on a nice platter and dress it up really pretty and push it forward and say, hey, look at all that's going to happen.
It's still a pig.
In the game. Yeah, but it's still a pig. It's still a pig. But it doesn't matter the color of the lipstick. So
with the conservatorships, what's going on with Wendy Williams, how can someone just take your money?
Yes.
But the thing is that we just have to be really, really careful because they can take your money like that. And, but that's why back in the day, especially with our people, we didn't put money in the bank, put our money under our mattresses. And that was the reason that we did that. I mean, not that I say you should put your money under your mattress, but now you really understand why, because they could just come and decide why would you have this money in the bank? Who are you? Where did you get this money from and just take your money?
Yes.
I mean, and that's a dangerous thing. It's very uncomfortable right now with what's going on in our world where they're just taking people's money.
Yeah. Yes.
She won't be the first, she won't be the last under the guise of we're trying to protect you or whatever the situation is. when you have people in your family that are of sound mind, if you're saying I don't have sound mind, that can maintain
Yes.
your finances for you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like
Right.
it's something going on with that. But
And
we're just hearing about this, but trust, it has happened
but it's
time.
been going on forever.
Exactly.
It's also a good place to remind people too, right here is this is the reason why, and it's something that we tend not to want to discuss, where we don't talk about living will, we don't talk about a dying
It's true.
will, we don't talk about medical will, we don't talk about any of these things because we say, oh, I don't want to talk about anyone dying, but we are all going to die. And if you really want,
Absolutely.
if you have worked years and years and years, right? And you have put away, in your head, in your heart, in your head, and you in that little box that you keep in the special place in the house, in the back of the bed, da 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 da. You've told the kids, right? That's lovely. But if you don't have that stuff in writing, legally binding contracts, all of your hard work and all of your things can be gone. And a
But you
lot
could
of
just write
times
it too. You could write it like
you can write it,
I mean,
but
as long as nobody's contesting it, you
well,
could write it too.
you can write it, but you can't write it on your deathbed.
No,
Number
no, no, no.
one,
No, you can't write it on your deathbed.
you can't write it on your deathbed, and you can't write it if you've already been committed to an institution for
No,
mental
definitely
illness
don't do
or
that.
anything like that, or if you are in a state of dementia, or if you're in a state of confusion. All those things will play against you. Your family loses, right? So why not, while everyone is lucid and everyone is clear, have those conversations. Start having those conversations. Tell people, put it in writing what you want to be done with everything. Now, you don't have to go item by item, but you do need to specify what happens to your insurance money, what happens to your stocks and bonds, what happens to the house, what happens to the, and you could take the house and the cars and put those things together, but your hard-earned money, the things you've invested in, the house that you bought, scripping and scrapping, and you built, and your family and memories, you want to put those things in hardcore writing. It's very, very important, right?
I mean, because like when my mom died, let me tell you, all I had to do was open up the paper,
Right.
and she had everything. She told me what she wanted to wear, told
Yes.
me how to bury her, where to bury her, who to send
Right.
her body to,
Right.
everything. You know,
Right.
it's like everything belongs to you, so I have to worry about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But everything, I didn't have to think about any. Only thing I think I had to really think about was picking out a casket.
Right.
Other than that, she told me her dress, her gloves, her every single, already had her plot,
Yes.
every single thing. And I tell you that it was the most refreshing thing because you're here, you are in mourning, and then you
Yes.
have to think about all these things too. Everything was in place. I did
Yes.
not have to search, think anything,
Because you got a
nothing. I just
roadmap. What better than to have a roadmap? Like you, when you do your business, right? You have a business plan. When you're traveling to a place, you have a road, you have a map to get there. Why not have a map for these things at the end when someone is no longer here to speak for themselves, that you don't have to battle with other people saying, oh no, she told me that she wanted this, or daddy
Mhm,
said he wanted it done this way, but you know what daddy said.
mhm,
So
mhm.
why not get it in writing so that everyone is clear and everyone needs to be involved, even when they are resistant? Because I promise you this, the person who is the most resistant, who says, I don't care, I don't want to know, I'm not talking about that, that is the person who shows up and raises the most hell.
Yeah, it's true.
That is the person who that's the person who show up, like in the movies, at the day of the funeral. You know how they say, is anyone, object at the weddings?
Uh-huh.
There is no such thing at a funeral. There's no such thing. But people will come in and be a disruptor in the midst of people in mourning. That is a god awful thing. I want you all to know that. Don't ever do that. That's really, really bad. That's really, really bad. So
It
get your
is.
house in order, right? Get your
Mhm.
papers in order. Tell your children, what you are doing for them, such so forth and so on. So everyone is clear. Because when people get emotional, people forget. they step outside themselves and become other little gremlins, and that's not nice. But if you lay it all out, everyone knows what you have said should be done, and what you want done, and how you want it done. Mm-hmm. So soul ties. We all have soul ties. We have many soul ties, right? Some of which, as we have discussed before, we want to go back to people and say, please give me that back. Because you didn't deserve it then, and you damn sure don't deserve it now. But it doesn't work that way. Once you give it away, you can't get it back. You can't go back and get it back. So there has to be periods in your life where you detox. You have to detox your spirit. You got to detox your relationships. You got to detox your mind, right? You have to detox your memories. You have to detox your past. You have to detox the past. You have to detox everything that's back there. And the reason why I say that is because don't look back there, because you're not going that way.
Yeah, and leave it back there.
And leave it back there.
Looking backwards. You can't move.
But unless you detox it, unless you remove the toxins of it, you can't
keep popping up.
Right. You can't go forward, you know? And so it's important to learn how to detox.
Crabgrass. This keeps popping up with your good grass.
Crabgrass, you're absolutely right. And what is crab? And what is crab? Crabgrass kills the grass.
Exactly.
You see that brown spot. You're like, man, the grass looks fabulous. But all the way from the back door, all the way, on your 1.5 acre, you see that brown spot. You're like, I'm sorry, what is that back there? Yeah. Crabgrass.
Get rid of it before it can take root. Detox it.
Detox it. Cut it out. Right? Do surgery on it. It gotta go. It gotta go. You gotta treat your life the same way. You gotta treat your life the same way.
That's true, though. That's true. That is your life. When things no longer serve you, they have to go.
Absolutely. I am learning now, shoes are my vice. Shoes are my vice. Every pair of shoes I ever buy or have ever bought has reason, has purpose, has goals, right? It has purpose. And I have shoes in my closet that I have owned for years. I cannot even wear these shoes anymore. But I have not been able to rid myself of them. So last year when I had to move, I realized, I was like, you were carrying a lot of baggage. You drag it. It's like this, these big behind suitcases of weight. Yes.
Bag lady.
Yes. It's gonna hurt your back. It's gonna hurt your back. I know I got rid of at least 300 pairs of shoes, if not more. And I still have shoes. So we won't get into how many shoes I have.
I know.
We won't discuss that. But I felt so good about that, because you know what I realized about some of those shoes I was holding on to is that when you leave things in a box on a shelf, in your mind, you believe that you're preserving these shoes, these items, right? Mm-hmm. And so, every now and then you go and you pull them out. And you're like, oh, I love these shoes so much, right?
Look at them.
And you look at them. I love these shoes so much, right? And you can remember where you bought these shoes, why you bought these shoes, where you wore the shoes to, because you have that kind of relationship with your girls, right? Until you wear these shoes out to, let's say you're going to a ball, a gala, whatever, right? Have you ever had this experience? You are set dressed. You are fabulous. You put these lovely shoes on. You get in the car, everything is fine. You're walking to this fabulous event you're going to, and you start hearing, You're like, what is that noise? The taps on the shoes have come off. Okay, I could do you better. The whole sole has come off the bottom of the shoe.
Because you didn't maintenance, you didn't check them out, make sure they were still.
You know what? Do y'all know what that's called? Dry rot.
Exactly.
Dry rot. It looks really good. It looks so wonderful, right?
Exactly. They will dry rot on you.
Oh my God. That shoe looks like the day you bought it, because you've maintained you thought. Let me correct that. You thought that you maintained them. But from heat and cold and different changes and sitting in the box and not breathing and not being worn and not being utilized, when you put your feet back in those shoes the next time, those shoes are going, oh my gosh, something's expanding.
Yeah, I never experienced this before.
What is happening here? And
inside of me?
The shoes literally explode. So you're walking down the street and your shoes are literally coming apart on your feet. That has happened to me numerous times.
My cousin took her shoes out. She had espadrilles, and she said she definitely wore them. And she just bought them last year. She said they were all like dry rotted and everything. I'm like, oh my God. Yes, it happens. You have to use what you have. It's literally, that statement is so true. If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Absolutely.
And it goes so many different aspects of your life, but it is so true. You keep your milk in the refrigerator, and if you don't drink it, it's going to spoil and you're going to have to pour it out. You're losing it, you know. And so if you don't wear certain things, like you don't wear your shoes, they're going to dry rot on you and you're going to lose them. So you call yourself preserving them and saving them for what? I always say save it for what? I'm not saving anything.
I don't know what you're saving it for.
No, nobody's going to get more wear out of my stuff than I do. After I'm.
Because I will tell y'all right now, I will wear an all black dress or all solid color dress and throw on some sparkly evening shoes, and I'm going out the door. Because what am I saving it for? If COVID taught us nothing else, you better wear your stuff. You better use your stuff.
That's right. How you feel today? I feel like dressing up today. Where you going?
Right.
But I'm going to dress up today.
I'm dressing up. Yep. I'm dressing up. I'm putting it on. Yep. Yeah, I drink everything, Steph and I both, and we never even had this conversation. I drink everything out of a wine glass.
Yes.
I use my wine glasses. I use my crystal. I use the stuff in my house.
Yes. I don't believe.
Because why are we sitting and let it collect dust?
No.
It makes no sense. But maintenance is important, because you know why it dry rots? It's just like if you don't ever take your car for a tune-up and you just keep driving it and driving it and driving it. Eventually, the car, one day you're going to get in and the car won't turn on, or you will drive along and the car will just stop moving, because you have not provided maintenance. You have not maintained it. You have not gone and check on it. You have not done a what they call it, a double check on it, or you wait till the check engine light comes on. Now you're like, oh my God, the check engine light is on.
But there's been warnings before that. Let's be clear.
It was right, because you know why? Remember the 10 mornings that you went out and it didn't turn over? And it wasn't winter.
Exactly. It's true.
And nowadays, the cars nowadays, did you all know this? You don't have to start your car up and warm it up. If you have a brand new car, that you don't need to do that.
It's true.
Cars are not made like that anymore, where you have to warm it up before you drive it off, right? So you have to realize that things are different, right? Everything is not forever. This is why, you go in the closet and the moth have eaten your clothes. That means it's been in the closet too long.
Yeah. But that's same with your furniture. Let me tell you, people like now, like my niece, I sold her house and she got all this white furniture. She had like 3 sons and a husband. It's just her. And she you can't still, I was like, you had to use that stuff, because your furniture, the dust will eat your furniture.
Absolutely.
You can't just have it sitting there looking pretty. Let people sit on it. Let them use it. What do you have for if you're not going to use it? Just to look at? I mean, like, I don't think to each his own. I do understand how people don't want people to wear shoes in their home. But if you're having a function, Like my niece, she's like that. But when she hosted Easter dinner, she's like, we're not doing that. So many people here today. She's like, I'll
Right.
just sanitize the floors and everybody goes.
Right.
You know, and she
Exactly.
started, you know, like that to me, this doesn't make sense. That's not sitting on the furniture, all this kind of stuff. Nobody can sit in there, or that room is special. I
Yes.
remember years ago, I used to be friendly with this woman, and she did like marble on her floor. Or did and maybe she did, or it looked like marble. Maybe it was marble. But however, she was having someone was giving her a surprise baby shower. She was pregnant. And she ended up, and it was this ugly, ugly green carpet that was all over her floor. And then, you know, because she just moved in, her and her husband, and they
Mm-hmm.
put the marble down, took the carpet up. But they kept the carpet, which was crazy to me. I don't want nobody else's old carpet, but they
Right.
kept the carpet and they put it in the unfinished basement. And when she had her baby shower, the baby shower was downstairs in the unfinished basement on that nasty green carpet
Ooh.
because she didn't want anybody in her room in her marble. It was like a walk-through room, but you couldn't sit in there. It was just to look at. I personally don't understand anything like that.
I don't
I
either.
have beautiful things and I am going to use them.
Right.
I just don't understand that. I never forget when I was getting, you know, when we were splitting up the furniture and I got my new bedroom set. And, you know, I was talking to my cousin and she was like, well, if you're going to move, you don't want them to come set it up. And then they got to break it down and set it up again. I had my mattress on the floor for 2 days. And I'm like, you know what? Come bring me my furniture set. Okay. Because
Yes.
I'm not going to be like, you know what I mean? They just going
Yes.
to have to break it down again. It's all glass and mirrors. So it's a
Yes.
lot and it's heavy. But you
Right.
know what? I'm gonna sleep in my bedroom set. And then
That's
when I
right.
move, they break it down and they set it back up
Look
again.
back up.
Because
That's
I'm gonna
right.
enjoy what I have. I'm not gonna just wait. I just don't understand that. I have
Mm-mm.
all white furniture in my house. Sit down on the white furniture. I don't
That's right.
care. It's
That's
not that
right.
serious. It's just
Because you know
furniture.
what are you saving it for? Because here's is something I heard a conversation between between three older women talking about how their children and grandchildren had no appreciation for the china that they had saved and for the furnishings that they had saved. And it was like, they don't want it, and they were like, this stuff is valuable. And I was laughing because that's the conversation I had with my mom, right? The stuff that they bought, most of it, right, back in the 60s, 70s, it was crystal, but it's not anything compared to today's stuff. And it doesn't have the value that they think it has. And the
Exactly. If
fact
it's not
is,
baccarat, or if it's
yeah,
not bone china, it's just
right.
not really. It
It's
has to
not
have
real
that kind
China.
of value to make it make sense.
Right.
Linux. You know what I mean? If
Right.
you weren't buying that, then it's not. I mean, it could be like it could be like an heirloom, which is understandable. But if
Yes.
it's not an heirloom, and it's not that important, it doesn't. I have a bowl from my mother had this bowl before I was born,
Yes.
and because I put these the tables in my living room, I'm like, oh, I can use that bowl. I just don't know where it is at the moment because I have so many stuff still packed up. But when I find that bowl, I'm gonna use it. But it's the bowl, like all the stuff my mother had, and she left me everything. I gave everything to her, her siblings, to my nieces,
Mm-hmm.
whoever wanted stuff. I was
Yes.
able to give them stuff. Some things I sold, consignment, whatever. I kept the things that I really love, not
Yes.
just to keep it, just to say I had it. I kept it because it's
Absolutely.
something I still got furniture in my storage in Savannah, Georgia. And it's a
Right.
piece. I'm can't wait to get this piece in here. But it's because I love it.
Right.
That bolt I love. I gotta get in my garage. Somebody he's home. Let's try to get some stuff out of that garage. But
Right.
that's what's most important. And that's
Right.
something like this heirloom. Will my kids feel the same way about the bowl?
Probably
I
not.
don't, probably not. Maybe or they knew maybe I loved it, maybe whatever.
Right. They
But I
might.
just exactly, but you have to like use your stuff. You have to like
Yes.
look at the beauty of it. I love beautiful things. It's beautiful. You look at my beautiful stuff. I don't understand how people just don't sit there, don't do. I have one of my cousins like that. Don't sit there, don't walk in her. She just wants you to stand and stay still. Don't look and don't touch.
Mm.
It's like I don't understand it.
And I
It's not
think
that
what
serious.
people also don't understand, not only does stuff becomes obsolete,
It
right?
does.
You're holding on to something it becomes obsolete. And for
Uh-huh.
some things, it's dangerous now at this point, right?
It's true.
So
It's
you
true.
want to keep the high chair from the 1940s.
Yeah, that's not the high chair now. Not to mention that you could get a
The,
replica that's a 2022 that looks like
right,
that.
right. Or you want to pass down the cradle that I'm sorry, y'all. Come on.
You don't know what's in that wood now. You don't know what that is. You know what's made for it from.
It could be all kinds of asbestos, mold. You don't know what's in that. But we fight with our parents over these things because they're like, this is an heirloom. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. It's not an heirloom. To whom? Who is the heirloom to? Heirloom it over to the person who wants it. Because
who's going to appreciate it? I mean, it's nothing like something being loved and used. If you're not using
but if you're not using it, you're just, and you have it in your house and it's collecting dust. That's all it's doing. It's collecting dust and then that's it. Now I understand keeping objects. Like you said, you have a bowl. There are things that we should all keep something of our childhood, of our parents, of our grandparents. I totally agree with that. But just to be collecting everything, just like people will fight over, a TV. Big Mama Sackett had a TV. It's a TV. You could go buy a TV for $200.
Exactly. It's not worth it. It's
not worth it. Or the floor model TV that doesn't even work, that they don't even make parts for anymore. Why are you fighting over that?
It became a shelf because it's the big TV floor model that you stick things on top of.
It's
the big floor model that holds the new TV on top.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna say, Steph. Do you know how many people's homes I've seen that in? So it's the old floor model from 1960. Then you got the 1970 TV. The 1980 TV is on the side, on the back of the big 1960 table on TV. And then you got the 90s TV on the kitchen table because you watch that one in the kitchen. It don't get all the channels, but you watch it in there. And then somewhere in there, the 2000s, that TV is sitting on top of the, one of them TVs. It's insane. Come on, y'all. Come on.
Everything. I just come there and clean house. Like what? I cannot take. Let me tell you. But I look at my garage. I can't stand that garage because it's killing me right now. I can't.
Me too. I need to go to the dumpster. I am borrowing someone's truck this week to take stuff to the dumpster.
I don't even want to open up a box. Take it, literally. Because it just gets to be a bit much and just holding on to all this stuff. And then when you move, you're dragging I want to lighten my life up. I'm not trying to drag all this stuff with me that I'm no longer using.
Yes.
I'm just trying to lighten up. Oh, I'm not using that. Gotta go.
And something else I want to share with you guys to put a, if your parents, right, have boxes and boxes and papers and top of it, you need to know where the true documents are. That's maintaining your business. That's minding your business too. Because if you're going to have to be the person who has to execute things for your parents, whether it is in death or in illness, you need to know where those things are. And you need to start to help them now start cleaning stuff and getting rid of stuff. I know it's hell on high water to get them to do it, but guess what? Either you do it now or you will be the one doing it by yourself.
That's why I got bags and bags of stuff in my storage in Savannah. I don't know what's in those bags, but I kept them on. I said, just get them out here. They're still in my storage. You know what? My mother passed in 2013. I got to get in that storage. I'm ready to you know what? It's time to go. Because all my other stuff, I have all my paper.
Because if you don't help people clean up their hoarding and all these stacks, you're going to be the one left to clean all that stuff up. And you need to know, I'm telling you now, make sure your children know where your documents are and make sure you know where your parents' documents are, or anyone that you have guardianship over or you're a power of attorney for. You need to know these things because it's very important. Because when it comes down to it, how many times people pass away and then people go, I don't even know where the insurance policy is.
Exactly. Oh my God. That happened to a friend of mine. And, I write policies. I have my life insurance license and I wrote a policy. I'm active, but I don't write. But if you wanted me to write one, I can write one for you.
Right.
And I wrote a policy for him a while ago. And I literally, the incident happened like about 5 or 6 years ago. But I wrote the policy and then I was walking in New York. And I looked at my phone and found out that my friend had passed unexpectedly.
Mm,
And I was like, oh my God. And then come to find out they had a GoFundMe page for him.
wow.
And it took me a little time to get in contact with the family. But at first I called my RVP to find out the policy that he had taken from me was still active. And it
Mm-hmm.
was. And then it took a minute to locate the family. And I was able to get with his mom and tell her he has a policy, you
Wow.
know.
Look at there.
And then after she buried him, she had a substantial amount of money still left over, for herself. I mean, not like not having her son, but
Yes.
it did help ease her life also.
Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
she was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." She was very, very appreciative. And because she said we found two policies in his room and none of them were any good, and he did not even have a copy of this policy. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I thank God that I knew him personally,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
saw it, and found it, and just eased the family because they're thinking like, how are we going to bury him? What are we going to do?
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
it was more than enough money to bury him. Now, which was really good. But you
That's
have to, yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, just to wrap it up, right? Maintenance, cleanup woman,
hmm
right? Be the
Exactly.
cleanup woman in your life, right? So
Exactly.
you want
Right.
to clean up your mind, body, soul, get your health together, get your wealth together,
Right.
mind your
Get your blood
business,
work. Get your blood work.
get your blood work. That's important.
Yes.
Get your wealth together, right? Start getting get your house in order. That's something we're always told, get your house in order, right?
It's true. It's true.
Because
It
it's
makes your life
important to do.
easier.
And it makes
It
your
is.
life a whole lot easier. And
It
then
does. Mhm.
you want to
Get your
maintain,
colonoscopy, get your
oh,
mammograms, all
absolutely.
that stuff done.
Like
Take all get. Yeah.
the yearly checkup is where you start,
hmm
right? Because in failing health, you're failing at other things too,
Of
right?
course.
With failing health causes you to fail at other things that you are trying to succeed at.
hmm
So as best you can, you want to maintain your health. That's important. So right, Steph
Yeah.
just said it. Your annual exam, physical exam, your annual mammogram, your annual colonoscopy, well, not annual, but every 5 years if you are 40 and above.
hmm
Um, if you let's see, if you have had breast cancer in your family, you should be definitely doing that.
Yeah.
Making
My
sure
mom
you're
had breast cancer. That's right.
Yes, you have to make sure you maintain that,
hmm
go get your eyes checked, your ears checked, right?
hmm
Um, you want to make sure you
Your
take
teeth
some
check.
time to have a mental health checkup.
Yep.
Very, very important. That's not something that's on any of the lists of anyone requires human beings do.
Well,
But
the reality is that they're doing your mental health checkup every time you go to see a
yes,
doctor.
now they are, and
Yeah,
they're
they
asking,
are.
right? They're
Yeah,
asking you
they're
the
asking. That's
questions,
right. Yes, they
but
are. They can
but
make sure
you
you have
but you
sound mind.
but you need to make sure that that's something you are also maintaining throughout, because right now there's a lot that is weighing on everyone's
Mhm.
psyche. There's a lot to process every day.
Oh,
And when it
yes,
comes and
absolutely.
when it comes to your mental health, that's another place we have to detox to, right?
Oh,
Just,
absolutely, absolutely.
don't watch the news or read bad things
Oh,
before you go to bed at night.
please.
Oh my God, avoid it
Yes.
like the plague, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't have to read it, don't. I'm not saying you want
Mhm.
to stick your head in the sand. I'm just saying learn
Don't
how
be
to
inundated.
limit. Yeah, learn how to
Inundated.
limit the amount of toxicity and negativity you take in on a daily basis, right? Because there's so much nowadays. You're like, again, another?
But but then some days you need to debrief and put your head in the sand though,
Yes,
because you have to debrief. You
you
cannot
do.
just be taking this all in and have no outlet for it because you're gonna
Absolutely.
implode.
Yes, you are.
So you have to debrief because that doesn't help your
Absolutely.
mental health at all. If
No.
you're just taking it all in, it's gonna come out of you somehow.
Yeah.
So you have to take the time to debrief. You
Yeah.
really do.
Take time in the
You know.
morning. Seriously, guys, in the morning, take time for affirmations, take time for prayer, take time for meditation, take time to go run, to go walk, to, sit down and have breakfast with your kids or with your spouse or with, just
Or with
sit
yourself.
down to, oh, right. Or I was going to say, or just be with yourself, but take
Have you with
time
yourself and enjoy yourself.
to
Have a mimosa.
process. Yeah, take time to process your day before you get in the day, right? Or even if that means if you're better at night, you lay out your day, take time to alleviate the stress of the day, however you need to do that, right? Because we are human and we are not indestructible. We have to learn how to release.
We're not robots.
Right.
Exactly.
We got to release stuff, and we got to learn how to release these phones and all these gadgets. Put it down.
God,
you gotta put it down sometimes. You gotta find time in your day. And I know as a realtor, Steph and I both, and as entrepreneurs, this is our bread and butter right here. But there are moments where you have to literally put this down, take it, turn it off, or put it somewhere out of the room that you're not in, and take some time to just be, to breathe, eat during the day. If you take, let's just say every maybe 3 hours, you take a moment to sit quietly, rub your earlobes to, relax yourself, or even taking this part of your hand, right?
Relax.
This releases tension. Like if you have a headache, I'm real serious. I don't know if you all know this. If you have a headache and you squeeze this is a pressure point. So if you squeeze this pressure point, just like you have pressure points in your shoulders, if you learn how to put pressure on those pressure points, it will alleviate the pain. So if you learn how to sit quietly, hold on just right there, and just take time to breathe, do some inhale, exhale, and release the stress of that moment, like every 3-4 hours, so that you're not sitting all day staring at a computer and just so inundated with what. I know the days get busy. I know there are days I forget to eat, and that's an awful thing. That's not healthy, right?
Not at all.
Do remember to take those breaks during the day, right? You got to clean up. You're the cleanup woman. Clean up your stuff, clean up your health, clean up your business, clean up your soul ties, your relationships, and then, clean up your mind.
Check in with your children. Check in with your children.
Oh, absolutely. And your friends and your family.
Check in with your children. We have to, as a society, be better parents.
Yes. Have to be more in tune.
Yes, we do. We have to be more in tune, be better parents, because that little cutesy, they so cute, and that it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but that lasts for a nanosecond. Yes. They're gonna live in adulthood long. They're ever gonna live like that.
Yes.
And you have to connect with your kids and know who they are and understand them.
Absolutely.
We gotta start really working on putting whole people in the world. But before we can do that, we have to be whole ourselves.
I love that. Putting whole people in the world. Oh, that's a word. I love that. Putting whole people in the world. Well, on that note.
Yeah. Gotta do the work so we can be whole, so we can be able to do that.
Yes. I love that, Steph. So Steph, I'm gonna let you take us out today. I love that. Putting whole people in the world. That's my motto. That's my positive affirmation for tomorrow. Putting whole people in the world.
Well, definitely, because it's important. We as a world are going through a lot, have been through a lot.
Yes.
And it definitely will get better. And it's how you look at it. But you can't control the world, but you can control that slice of your world.
Yes.
And you got to be on it.
Yes.
Because everything starts at home.
Absolutely.
It really, really does. Everybody want to be everywhere else, but that's why he's talking about mind your business. Mind your business at home. Yeah. It starts there, and then it filters out from there. But start at home. If you can't take care of somebody else's home, if you ain't taking care of your home, don't work.
Clean up woman, clean up woman, clean up.
Exactly. It's so true. Yeah. Everybody everywhere, but nobody want to look at what's going on right in front of their face.
Absolutely. Right at your house, at your kitchen table.
Do it. It's like, hello, I'm here. I need some help.
Yes.
Be there.
Yes.
You need to be there. Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I hope that we bless you all today, because I am encouraged. I just love that, making whole people in the world. I love that.
Yeah.
So
Need that.
figure out where you're going to make your footprint. Figure out where you're going to make that positive impact, but you have to clean up first, right? Mind your business, maintain your health, maintain your wealth, maintain your soul ties, and then, go into the world and be great.
Exactly.
So you guys have a great, wonderful day, ready for a new week. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed week. Enjoy it. And we thank you all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to share.
Yeah.
Love you,
Have a
honey
good day.
bunny.
Love you too, honey bunny.
All
Have a
right.
good week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. What am I doing? Cancel that. What am I doing? Oh, I have to fix that now.